As of now, what are the topics that we have discussed?
Application software ESB.
What is the software?
Software is a set of programs,
What is program?
set of instructions and lines.
A program is a collection of statements, sequential statements that can be executed automatically by giving some commands. So the task that you wanted to perform, it will be performed by system. Okay, and a software is a collection of programs that can handle simultaneous tasks. And there are two types of software: application software, system software. So application software mainly used by the end users. For example, if you wanted to register a user, so you need an application who can easily enter their information into the system. So to enter the details into a system, we need user interface. So the user interface will be developed by some front-end developers, and the information they wanted to store in some file systems or backend databases. For that purpose, there will be other technologies like middleware. Yeah, for example, you have entered the information on the front end, and it needs to be stored in database. In this architecture, there are two applications. One is front end application and one is back end application. So this is your application architecture. Here, if you need any information, you can build a system system integration without needing any complex services.
And front-end application.
Front end to back end integration. And if you want to expand your business, so you might need additional softwares which can handle the reporting needs of your business. So in that case, you might add additional softwares and additional applications which are going to be useful for your business. Then the complexity of your application architecture will need some intermediate software which can route all the traffic from system to system. That's where ESP comes into picture. ESP is Enterprise Service Bus, which will handle all the traffic, and all the services can be built on ESP, and it will uh, redirect the data or data format. Maybe you wanted to transform the fields. For example, on system A, you have information like first name, last name. But on system B, you want the information in a single field like name. In that case, you will use this intermediary software. Then you will perform the transformation, like combining the first name and last name into a single field name, and then you will send the data to system B. is application A or system A. From system A, you have captured the data. Last name, gender. But system B will expect the data only in name and sex, for example. Okay. For example, we will consider a record your information.
ESB club.
Can you repeat your question?
You can explaining this ESB.
Yeah, why we need ESP? So there are two systems.
The system A and system B.
System
The first name and last name is the general. Other we divide the names and sex. Okay.
no. On system A, user is entering information into these fields: first name, last name, and gender. For example, your first name, last name, gender, male.
Hmm.
This is your information.
Hmm.
And these personal details you want to send it to system B. Okay. But on system B, there are no fields with first name and last name. And the gender you are storing in the sex field. And it will hold the data only as a single character, M or F. That means male or female. Since it is one application, you can directly send the information by interchanging the format and concatenating the fields. Within system A, one of the developer has to send this information from system A to system B. Even though the user is entering the information, he does not know, and he need not know what will happen in the backend of a system A. So a developer has the responsibility to send the information and to write a code, maybe a software or a program, to send the information from system A to system B.
Okay.
Okay. First, when you want to write a program, you need to understand the business and the flow of the business. Whenever a user enters the information, you need to write some logic. What has to happen? Maybe there is a invalid data. entered by the user. So you need to throw an error upfront where user can understand it and correct the data.
Distractions only characterize register.
Identity.
The sign up button at front-end application and distractions, some first name, last name, and character letters, password.
Your question is not clear. No. Try try to explain me the question very clear.
User is a front-end register the application. First name, last name is over, but password it like a registration characters, 8 numbers, 8 letters. They go on is along that user they go on error.
It will throw. Yeah. You need to put those kind of validation in your program.
Instead of like in coding. After register, you need to insert the data. Yeah?
Yeah.
ఆర్డర్ అప్లై పై రేపు
Okay. So all you need to do is to integrate system A and system B. You have a user registration form where you are entering your first name, last name, and gender into system A. Okay. And this information is registered. And on system A, there will be a program start a register user. If the data is valid or not, so you need to perform a check. And if it is not valid, the developer will throw an error and return that error into system A. If the data is valid, you need to transform and send the data to system B. Okay. On system B also, they will perform some validation and they will return whether it is success or failure. And thus that information will be sent to system A. So this is a flow chart.
Okay.
How your business data has to flow. And this is just one service where you are integrating system A and system, and there will be many services in between these two systems or applications. And suppose there is one more application comes into picture in future, then again you have to integrate system A, system B, and system C all together. That creates a complexity of your services and maintenance, and also it is tightly, yeah, the code will become tightly coupled. Whatever the changes you need to do, it needs more time to do the changes and also more time for the testing and to deploy the latest changes into a production code. That creates a complexity. That is why we need enterprise service bus system. In this architecture, instead of communicating from system A to system B directly, you will send that information to ESB application. Business logic will remain same. Only we are adding additional layer in between the integrations. Whenever a new application or system is introduced, without needing of recreation of services or point-to-point communication, we can reuse the services by implementing ESP or service-oriented architecture within the business. In ESP, there will be service independency and reusability, easy maintenance, platform independent. Why we need ESP? To reduce the or to remove the point-to-point interaction between the systems or applications, and code reusability. For example, you have created a service register user, and that information is flowing from system A to system B. Okay, and there is one more application, system C. Okay, application C. For example, yeah, we will name it as applications. Application A, application B. Okay, this is our architecture. Architecture means what are the different applications our business is using. Okay, for example, you are an employee. Okay, and your information has to be stored somewhere to generate your employee ID when you have joined. What is your personal information? What is your background details are around your education, or is there any criminal background on you? So all this information that you are going to provide to your company. Okay, that information will be stored in some databases or some file system. Some file system means that is Excel. You will just enter your data, and Notepad. You will enter your data. It is just a data. You are storing somewhere and somehow into some systems. That's how you can maintain the data, and you can verify it later. by storing the data. But whatever the information that you are entering into some application A, so that information is needed by another application in your organization. Means once you join the company, they will perform a background check. Okay, and then uh, there will be some probation period, how your performance is, and then there will be salary payout for every month. Okay, and they will store the information how much salary they have to pay. That means you are just like you, there will be hundreds of employees in your organization, so all of their information will be stored in a database, and every month 31st or maybe first, you will get your salary into your bank accounts. So in this case they need your bank details as well. To maintain the bank details and to pay to the employees, they need a different system or different application, okay, to make the transactions, banking transactions. So we'll say application A is HRMS. HRMS means human resource. Human resource. Okay. And application B. This is payroll system. Payroll means uh, salary information. And application C. Project system. Project. Okay. It is employees assigned to project. This is your database. Okay. On application A, whatever the information you have provided, they will enter the data. Okay. Once they enter the data, it needs to store. They need to save the data. For that purpose, they are using a service. Register employee information into application D database. In this case, what is the communication from application A to application B? We need the communication. Okay, from application to A to application D. That means instead of connecting from A to D, we have a ESB layer. ESB means enterprise service, and also this application A will provide the data in JSON format. Just suppose, but application D database will accept the data in to table. Okay, and this information uh, will be in some text format. So we need data interchange, data transformation. We need the connectivity from application to A to D. So we build a service, register user service, register employee, and then once the data is available, employee information is available in database. In application B, they want to check out who are joined in this month. Okay, and then they will ask for some bank information from the employees, or maybe they will, if there are any existing accounts of employees, they will directly attach them to their payroll system. If there are no existing bank accounts to any employee, they will ask to provide some documents and create an account with their vendors. Suppliers, here suppliers means, for example, ICICI Bank, SBI Bank, they will tie up with some other bank. So they will open an account for their employees within their bank, and they will attach that information into the payroll system. Okay, so here the integration is happening from application D to application B. So to attach the employee information, bank information to application B payroll system, first they need the information from application D. So they need to fetch the information. For that purpose, what we need to do, we need to develop a new service to fetch the employees information from application D and give them in some format. So all the data here flows in some data format, any data format. Okay, and then once an employee is joined and it is stored in database, after that the payroll system, they are going to attach their information to their system from application. Accordingly, they are going to schedule their transactions, like they cannot perform each individual pay now, pay now, pay now.
Okay.
So they will create some jobs on every 31st or maybe first of the month. They are going to pay the salary to their employees. Okay, and once you have joined and you are there within the organization, you need to be assigned to some tickets, not tickets, some project. Okay, project means you need to work to the company. So what it means, you need some work. So with your organization will have clients. Clients means how do you get the clients? So first you need give your company exposure, what you are going to do within the company, what is your company doing. So you have to let them know of the outsiders. For example, we are providing a services.
Will employ explain the company or
No,
company?
not employee. The organization maintains the data, and there will be
Exposure client.
business analyst, and yeah, there will be a person within the organization who is responsible for getting the clients get on board. That means he is going to represent your company to the clients. This is what we do. Like we develop a front-end application. Okay, we design the application. Means on every web page. I mean nowadays every company will need a web page. So what they will say, we are going to design your website. We will maintain that at free of cost for 6 months. We only charge for the development of the website. Okay, that way you will get the clients. And how you are going to meet the client, and why the client wants to come to you, because he is going to run a business, and that business also needs some information and needs some services. They are going to provide services to the end users within their business. That's why they need some someone who is able to develop the website. Okay, for example, within the uh, industry there are so many software companies. Okay, likewise your company is one of the software companies, and there are 5 to 6 companies who are going to bid to the client. What is the cost that we can build your project? Bidding. That's how your organization will get the client. Now who is going to work to the client? Your organization has employees, and your organization is having the clients.
Okay.
Okay, now the interaction has to happen between the employees and the clients. That's where the project management comes into picture, and you will be assigned to that project. Here client means you are going to build a new project or maybe some enhancement to the project. You are an employee and you are going to assign to that new client. Okay, likewise within your organization there will be multiple technologies. Creating and maintaining website means it is not a front-end job. You need database developers. You need uh, for example, within that you might be using some reporting tools. So whoever are needed, they will assign all the team members to that project. So that means application C is representing a project management system. Who are the employees assigned to the project? Again, this application C need information from application D.
Okay. Which one to assign the
Who are assigned? Who are still not assigned to the project?
who?
Who are? Who are? If there is any employee is not assigned to any project, so they are going to send some interview invites with the clients. Once the interview happens, then they will be assigned to the project. So all this information has to flow from application to application. For that purpose, here we are using the ESP as a service oriented architecture. Now within ESP there are many vendors who can provide their services as a like a technology provider. Mulesoft is one of the ESP who can provide the services to integrate multiple applications, and they have the capability to maintain the applications, deploy the applications, and they also provide services for analytics and monitoring. Likewise, there are other tools and technologies within ESP. For example, Delbumi. Delbumi is one of the ESP provider, and TIPCO. So there are IBM software. Likewise, why we chose MuleSoft? So MuleSoft is providing one-stop solution for all the business needs. Okay? And it is easy for a customer once he onboarded. He can get all the services needed for the organization needs. So it is an integration platform that helps to connect business data. Likewise, from application to application. Then ESP means enterprise standard enterprise service bus. Within ESP, we have data interchangeability. Data interchangeability means from one data format to other data format, and transformation. Like we said, first name, last name needs to be converted to just name. So transformation, data interchange, and it is having the capability to connect many different technologies or applications. So there are inbuilt connectors and components. Just by configuring very few details, you can uh, build a service in a rapid way and faster way. And it also uh, provides the security. That's why we are going with MuleSoft. And as a developer, all the thing we need to know is how to develop a MuleSoft services and what are the tools that are needed. So all that we need is Anypoint Studio. Anypoint Studio is an IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. So even though you are a developer, you need some tool to write your program. That tool we are calling it as Anypoint Studio. Okay. And by using Anypoint Studio, you will build your flows or services, and Once you develop your services or flow, you need to test that as a developer. That is your minimum responsibility. Once you have developed any application or services, you need to test it. For that, we have some advanced REST clients, which are like Postman, ARC. By using those mediums, we can test our applications. And to set up this environment, we need Apache Maven. Apache Maven is a build tool like you want to create a sample program which can calculate, or maybe for example, consider calculator. Okay. To develop a software to calculate the numbers, you need some existing classes and jars. Jar is a some existing program information, build information already existed. So those programs are written by some developers, which is useful for the software development activity. And to collect all that information, you need to know the uh, program names, that project names, and what are the versions, all those information you need. So to reduce that activity, uh, all we need to do is we can use this Apache Maven, which can uh, get all the needed information, jars, everything into your application by configuring the Apache Maven. So in Mule, we are going to create the applications in Anycon Studio by using Mavenized programs.
Is Mule set in Apache Maven?
Yes,
Mule 9, Mule 353 is not set the Maven.
yeah. In Mule 3, it is not a mandate to Mavenize the programs, but in Mule 4, they have made it mandatory, and every project, every application within Mule 4 is Mavenized project.
So that is the activity 4.
Yeah. So
And
the
3.1 is some more activity.
activity
No,
means
it's kind of mini problem. You 4 or 3.
there is no problem, but it will increase the efforts of a developer
3.
in Mule 3. It takes more time to build a project and deliver it.
Okay.
In Mule 3 also you can manage the projects. That is possible. Okay. And there is one more tool which is useful. SoapUI. SoapUI is one of the testing tool, and you can create a project like if there is an existing service and you need to consume that service within your Mule flow. Okay, before you implement and go through the application within your flow, you need to test that service provided by vendor. For that, we can use the software to test the service. So we have now discussed why Mulesoft, what is CSV, and the tools we needed for Mulesoft. Now come to data types. So before we proceed with any program or to write any program, we need to know what are the data types. Okay? Data type is a kind of defining a rule. What kind of information you can store, what type of data you will get. Okay, within this we have two types: simple data types and complex data types. Simple means it is very straightforward. Uh, it is string data type. String means it is alphanumeric, like your name one, and maybe you want to store your address. Okay, address line, where you are living. So all that kind of information will be represented as string format, string or varchar. So based on the technology, it will just differ. Okay, string can be considered as varchar also. For example, if we see this, string is the format. You can store that information by denoting the data within quotes. Okay, if you enter the data, this data true within quotes, that becomes a string data type, and your name, you are representing it within quotes. This is a string. And another simple type is number. Number is a data type which can hold the digital values, digits. Maybe it can be a decimal value also, but it just varies, like integer, number, and float, double, based on the technology. And Boolean data type. So Boolean data type, you just wanted to give some kind of information, like any question type of information, like do you like playing cricket? It is a question. So that information can be answered as yes or no. That is string data type. And also it can be uh, internally represented as true or false, whether I like to play cricket or not. You're just giving the response, some answer, and that information will be stored in Boolean format. Do you like to play cricket or not? True or false. And another data type is complex data types. Complex means you are reusing the existing simple data types, but here, instead of a single line, you wanted to collect all the information and put into some data type. That becomes the complex data type. For example, it represents in two formats. Key value pair is the object. Within complex, there are two data types: object complex data type, array data type. Object will hold the data in key value pair. Okay, and array is index based and it will hold the data within square brackets. Likewise, there is a name. You want to provide your information name. That name, this name field is a string data type. When you consider just this line, it is a string database. Sorry, string data type. And then age. Age is number data type. And then married, whether you are married or not. Boolean data type. So these all three individually are simple data types. But you wanted to send this information together. Okay. Then you need to create a complex data type which can hold the information together. This is going to represent a object, and an empty object can represent just by opening and closing the flower braces, and empty array just a square bracket.
The collection of objects.
Which one?
Array type.
It is a collection of data, like it can be collection of objects or collection of names, collection of strings, or collection of numbers, anything. So within this we have structured array. When we say structured array means all the information within that represents the same data type. That means you wanted to store the list of names. Okay. Like
String type.
string. So all names will be
will come number data is array of objects.
You can store it, but that becomes a unstructured array.
This type.
This one. You can store the information, but it is a unstructured data type.
No one.
This is the name.
The square bracket inside lower bracket.
That becomes another complex data type. We can create. So here we are just storing the names into array, and here we are storing the person information, name, age, and marital status within the array. So how we are going to access this information? With index based. Okay, for suppose this array name is person. Okay, this data is assigned to person variable. If you want to access the name, you need to use person of 0, like that. And you can use the below examples. It is using object data type, array data type, objects within objects. That means this is object data. This is object data. It is just address information. And basically you wanted to create a person information, right? Person details. A person can hold information like name, age, friends. He can have friends, whether he is married or not, and where he lives. So this is a person information. You need to gather it. and there will be multiple persons. That means multiple means it is array main, and one person means it is a object. Person is having a name. This becomes a string. This is a number. And friends. Friends you can have many or one. That's why we are going to store it as array. And then master set boolean address. So within address there will be address line 1, line 2, and the pin code, postal code, and which state he belongs to, and which country. So this is the minimal information we need to gather. That's why we are creating this address as an object. That means which is holding again multiple data. So it became object, and this object is within the person object. Complex types. These are more complex types. It is array of objects of arrays and objects. So we can go through these use cases. I mean, from above, this is your data, and how you can access the data. You can use this example. For example, there is Punjab line 1. Where is this information? Punjab line 1 is there, right? So you need this information.
ఇప్పుడు రెండు వస్తాయి. ఓకే ఓకే 0 ఫస్ట్ దాంతో ఒకటి వస్తాయి line 1
So all
One.
this
One.
data is payload. Where we say payload means it is a business data. That's it. Payload is nothing but a business data. And from this, which person object we need? The first person object. First means the array's index starts with 0. That's why 1 minus 1, 0. Within this, where is this information stands? Within address dot line 1. That's why we are representing as payload of 0 dot address dot line 1.
This is map typing. This is map type.
Yeah, we are mapping the data. I mean, we are extracting the information from this content payload. And here use case 2 is find friend Gandhi of Subhash. Where is this information? What is he trying to say? Find friend Gandhi of Subhash. Subhash. Here is the Subhash record. Okay. First we need to find the Subhash record. So from payload, which is this object, second object. So since it is an array, we are going to represent as payload of 1. And from this payload, again we need to find the friend.
First one will come. payload one, this one, friends 01 is this one.
Here, first we are going to find the Subhash record. So this is the payload. From this payload, which object is Subhash? Second, this object. I mean, here we are going to search with the name. Who is Subhash? So that's why we are saying payload of 1. That means we get this data. Now, just consider this. This is now our data by payload of 1 expression. And from here, we need to find the friend Gandhi. So within this one, where is this friend information?
Subhash.
Friends. Within friends, there is friends information. So we are saying payload of 1 dot friends. Okay. And within this one, where is Gandhi? First one. That means friends of 0. Okay. That's why we are saying of 0. Within this friends one, the first one. That means 0. Okay. And you can go through these use cases and we can extract the information as we like it. We need to find Subhash address, how we can do it. So this is
How many types mappings?
mapping.
This total are mapping.
These are use cases. So we need to understand what are the different data types and how we can extract that simple information. That's it. Then we can go through the use cases, and even though you are using some programming, you need to know how we can extract that information. So there are some expressions. By using those expressions, we can extract the information within memory. That is called a data view language. All these use cases, we can extract the information by using data view. So we can practice data view as well. First, try to understand these data types.
Complex data is rich and easy to get the data.
It is we are trying to define the data by using complex data types.
Which one better? Cases mapping.
It is not a better or not better. We are defining the data types, and based on the business needs, we would be able to define the data types. For example, here we are saying we need a person information. Okay, so whenever we want, we are saying we need a person information. At that point of time, we should be in a position to define the data types as per the business needs. That means we need to capture this information, minimal information, and based on that we can define the data types. రే
ఫ్రెష్
ఏంది ఇది క్యాప్చర్ అయిందా లేదా
లేచి
హ్మ్?
అయినా ఎన్ని ఇది
అది పాతదేమో అనుకుంటున్నా నేను ఇది 15 నిమిషాలే ఉంది
ఫినిష్ కొట్టినా
స్టాప్ కొట్టాను